Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Itchan, and the focus of this video is to open up to you about my mental health journey and how I've been coping with this pandemic. Just recently, a phrase that has come up often for me has been, what if? Now, over the years, it has helped me talk myself out of doing a lot of things, but during this quarantine, it has helped me try out new things, such as trying out a new workout routine, rekindling my love for art, or helping me practice my video editing skills. So for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a very private person, and so making this video marks a huge step outside of my comfort zone. I went back and forth with my what ifs, causing me to contemplate whether or not it's even worth it to make this video in the first place. My what ifs included the following. What if I'm judged for what I put out there? What if people misunderstand my message? What if I'm not good enough? On the other hand, my what ifs played an opposite role. What if my message helps somebody? What if this message helps at least one person change their mindset for the better? The big thing I want to bring up is my battle with depression and anxiety. Depression is actually a condition I've struggled with since high school, and it's affected me in waves. In high school, I had a mild stutter, which has caused me to speak a lot less than I wanted to, but it has also caused me to be much more observant and to think before I spoke. My experience with depression has been one in which I would have low periods of apathy, as if nothing really mattered. I didn't enjoy activities as much as I used to, and it just felt like I was going through the motions. 2018 was an especially difficult year for me, with the passing of both my good friend and my cousin, which was very difficult for me to process. In 2019, I was in a huge funk. I would feel sad for no reason at all, and it would feel 10 times harder doing the simplest tasks, such as getting out of bed and eating. I also had bouts of anxiety that I've never felt before. There would be moments where I would hyperventilate and feel like I would have no control over my body. It was around October of 2019 where I got tired of feeling this way on a daily basis, and I decided to attack this thing head on. As a school counselor, I'm so used to telling my students how important it is to get help. And so I needed to swallow my own medicine and be aggressive about getting help for myself. I read books on depression and anxiety. I went for a checkup with a doctor to see if there's anything physically wrong with me. And I even sought help from a therapist. A big thing holding me back from going to therapy was how expensive it tends to be. But I asked myself, how much would I pay for a chance to be in a better mental state? And so I decided to take a leap. Taking these steps has helped me to feel empowered and helped me to let loose about everything that's on my mind, including my past trauma and grief, and has helped me to reframe my trauma with a trained professional who's available to listen without judgment. I feel that my battle with depression and anxiety and the steps I've taken to manage it has helped me to be resilient and solution-focused in the face of the challenges that have been brought on by this pandemic. The key philosophy that has helped me out throughout my life has been control what you can control. Although I can't control how widespread this coronavirus is, or whether there's a third or fourth wave, or if there's a different strain that pops up, what I can control is my reaction to my circumstances. I focus on the things I can control, such as wearing a mask, practicing social distancing, avoiding group gatherings, and staying in shape both physically and mentally. This quarantine has given me a lot of time to reflect and make my mental health a priority. With all the gyms closed, I tried out new workout routines, such as yoga and insanity, which was ridiculously hard. I started taking cold showers every day for the past couple months, which has helped keep me alert and build my immune system to keep me from getting sick. I was able to build a solid, consistent workout routine where I would wake up as early as 4 in the morning to journal, to meditate, and to get my workout in to set the tone for the rest of the day. Since I couldn't get a haircut from my regular barber, I learned how to cut my own hair. A hard part of this pandemic for me has been the severely limited options I have to connect with my students as a school counselor. The part of my job that gives me the greatest joy is to be able to meet with each of my students in person to establish positive relationships with them. So to have that cut off has been a very difficult adjustment. But this has opened up new ways to innovate and connect with my students virtually, whether it's Zoom or creating educational video content to push out. In the end, I'm blessed to be still employed in a job I love, as I understand there are tons of people out there right now that are going through far worse. If you know me, you know that I place a lot of value on productivity and achievement. So I would usually have all or nothing thinking, to where if I don't do something once, or if I'm not in the mood, I would beat myself up and sabotage the positive habits I want to build. I found that beating myself up for not being perfect didn't make things better, it only made things worse. I have gotten better at not judging myself for what I'm not doing or the mistakes that I make, and not identifying with the various emotions that I have throughout the day. I no longer identify with being a depressed person. I just notice that I have feelings of depression. I no longer identify with being a sad person. I just notice that I have feelings of sadness, which can be triggered by things that stress me out or not having an adequate amount of food or sleep. Now, am I cured of my depression? Not at all. It is something that I have to consistently manage and monitor, but I feel much more confident in my ability to manage the highs and the lows. I'm more aware of the times I'm feeling down, and I respond accordingly by either slowing down or shutting down completely for the day without regrets. Instead of fighting it, I remind myself that these feelings are not permanent and simply let the storm pass. I think the benefit of having and learning to manage my depression is that I believe it makes me a better counselor. It allows me to empathize with my students who are going through similar struggles and helps reassure them that they aren't alone or broken. Well, that wraps this video up. I hope that hearing about my mental health journey gives you a sense of hope and encourages you to get help when necessary. I pray that you stay safe and healthy as we head into the new year.